Hey Danny, how you doing, man?
Hello, Lewis. How are you?
I'm not so bad. The weather is lovely today. I've already been out. I've been for my daily exercise, which involved going to the little Tesco and discovering they had no flour, and then coming back home. So that was fun.
Well, yeah, I went out for a run yesterday.
Crikey, you feeling all right?
Yeah, and it was a big wake up call as to how
How deeply unfit you are.
out of shape I really am.
The sobering cry of unhealthiness. It's always a wake up call when it's like, oh shit, sorry, I've left something upstairs. I know we're just about to leave the house, but sorry, just let me go and grab my wallet or my keys or whatever. You sprint up the stairs, get back down. You're like, oh, I am close to death immediately.
That is exact, and it's like it was a kilometre that I ran.
Oh yeah.
And it was I was really.
What's a kilometre? That's like 0.8 miles or something.
I think, is it?
1 kilometre in miles. 0.6 miles. Okay, cool. Yeah, I know. It's the distance from my house to Tesco is like a mile, so
right.
it's the only way I can contextualise distances. It's like, right, well, from my house to my granddad's house is about 1.5 miles, so
Yeah, it was literally just like round the block of where I live.
Sure.
Yeah, and because I live at the bottom of a hill, so you
Mm.
have to run up this huge hill and then round and I was just like, I'll be alright, it'll be fine. And then I was like, oh my god, I thought it was going to be one of those things where, you know, in television shows and stuff like that, when someone runs and they're so out of breath that they just vomit.
Yeah.
I thought it was going to be like that, but
Or it'd
wasn't.
be like that bit from Family Guy where that Brian takes up running to convince this girl that he's like an athletic person, and then he gets to the top of the hill and he hits the runner's high, and he's like, "Yeah, this is great. I'm loving it. It's great."
There's no such thing as a runner's high.
I think there probably is. I just think I've never been lucky enough to experience a runner's high, just a runner's close to death, laboured breathing.
I've never experienced it, but then again, I don't run, so.
No, the closest I come is a brisk walk.
Darling, I'm off for my brisk walk.
Yes, I need to buy a house that's like by the sea. Darling, I'm going for a brisk walk along the coast. How very middle class that would be. It's like, yes, we're in our rental cottage for our holiday. I'm going for a brisk walk along the beach.
Yeah.
In the bracing March breeze.
Jesus Christ. So the 10-minute bullshit started. I had an interesting one. The wheel has randomly selected a very interesting.
Oh
one
yeah.
today. Yeah. So interesting that it doesn't even need to spin. It's would you rather?
Oh, okay, right.
Yeah, so we can think of the most horrible situation.
Jesus Christ.
And then we can...
My problem with Would You Rathers is because there are like 2 or 3 good ones, and then it develops into like just either incredibly sexual or incredibly grotesque questions, and you're like, well, once you get past about 5 questions, it just becomes, well, this is just gross.
Well, yeah, but that's the whole point.
Yeah, okay, I suppose. Right. Would you rather lose the ability to read or lose the ability to speak?
Oh, that's a tough one.
I think it is a tough one, yeah.
Is that what that typing was? Did you?
Yeah, I hurriedly Google it, yeah.
If you get an index of would you rathers...
I think this is a list of like 100 or something, yeah.
Oh, I knew it. I'll go with read, because I like talking.
Yeah, because I think if you lost the ability to read, it would affect your ability to speak so intensely that it would be as good as losing your ability to speak.
That's true, because you can't really look at something like a word and not read it. It's impossible to do that.
Exactly. It's like if you look at, even if it extends to like timepieces and stuff, if you look at your watch and you're like, well, that means nothing to me, you can say out loud, I have no idea what time it is or what's going on in the world. But if you can't like tell the time, you can't like read things on your phone, somebody sends you a text, you can't, like, yeah, like if it was just you can never read a book again, then it would be maybe be okay. But in the modern world, you do need to read like maps, train times, things like that. You need to be able to do things like that.
Well, is it the case that the ability to read is taken away, but is it everything I have read and understand at this point in my life is also taken away, or is it just from here on out I can no longer read things, but I still have a conceptual understanding of everything that I've read beforehand?
I reckon it's from here on out. It's like a switch has been flicked.
So my knowledge so far is still there.
If you can call it that, yeah.
Fuck you. That's a good one. That's a really good one.
It is. Well, I might be proved wrong on my would you rather questions. These do seem quite good, to be honest.
Yeah, well, guess what? I don't have a fucking website doing all the work for me. I've got to think these up. Okay. Would you rather? This is a bit elaborate.
Right.
Would you rather have a gun to your head, and the person with the gun to your head tells you, no, wait a minute. The person with the gun to your head puts toothpicks in between your toenails.
Oh, Jesus.
And says, if you don't boot your foot off a wall, I'm going to kill your family. Right, that's scenario A, right?
You're right.
Or, would you rather be eaten alive by flesh-eating ants?
Right. Questions for the first one. Which foot? Is it both feet? Is it all of my toes? Or is it one toe on one foot?
Oh, no. It's one whole foot. What's your favourite foot?
Probably my left foot. My left foot is like my aesthetically pleasing foot.
Right, okay. Well, let's disfigure both of your feet then.
Let's make both of your feet horribly disfigured.
We'll go with left, right? We'll go with left.
So it has to be every single one of my toes?
Yep, every single one, then you have to boot your foot off a wall.
My problem with this is that, like, if I kicked a wall in this way you're describing, I think my big toe would be able to handle the strain and I would get, like, stabbed. But I think my other toes, I don't think there's enough, like, strength to the bones or the ligaments or the muscles or anything to actually make the toe remain rigid enough for it to get, like, stabbed and skewered.
Yeah, but
I think it would just crumple. Not crumble. Crumple. Do you know what I mean? Get a little bit of stabbing, but not heavy stabbing.
But the toothpicks are like fine. They're glued in there, right? And it's the sharp ends that are right at the skin of where your toes, underneath your toenails are.
Okay.
And they've been glued in, and you have to do it as hard as you can against this wall.
Or all my family is killed.
Or all your family's killed.
Okay, one final question. Is it 5 kicks in order to make sure they all go in, or is it just one kick and whatever happens happens?
If you kick it once and the sadistic gunman doesn't think that there's enough pain being extracted, you're like, right, okay.
This is an alternate ending to The Dark Knight, isn't it? Instead of trying to kill Gordon's family, Harvey Dent is just like, no, Gordon, you've got to like put some toothpicks under your neck. Yeah.
Do it again, Gordon. There wasn't enough that time. Yeah, so he'll just keep doing it until the desired effect is sought.
Okay, I reckon I'd go for the toe kicking thing.
Okay, fair enough.
Because I think it's like, I'd go for the toe kicking thing. I value my family more than I value my foot. Like, worst case scenario in that situation is my foot gets amputated.
No.
Like, you know?
That's not the would you rather.
No, I know it isn't. It's because if it's that scenario in which my family could potentially be killed, or I definitely die being eaten by insects.
Ah, right, okay.
I would rather the family kicking a wall scenario. I would rather that. What about you?
It is quite elaborate, to be fair.
It's extremely elaborate, yeah.
Yeah. Only a sadistic psycho could have thought that up. I mean, only
somebody who definitely shouldn't go on any watch list could have thought that up, yeah.
Right, okay. You go. You give one.
Would you rather be covered in fur, or would you rather be covered in scales?
Oh, scales, definitely.
Really?
Yeah.
Like a built-in blanket or +2 armour? Which would you go for?
Say that again?
Like a built-in blanket all over you, or +2 armour all over you?
+2 armour.
Now, what kind of scales would you go for? Like lizard scales, or fish scales, or...?
Probably lizard scales.
Like thick, sort of, the kind of thing you'd expect to find on a dragon?
Yeah, definitely, yeah.
Yeah.
Can dragons do they count?
I don't know, it's a good example, though, because I feel like a dragon is a lizard turned up to 10. Do you know what I mean? It's like
Can I have the scales of Smaug the Terrible?
If you want. He's a big dragon, though, so I suppose you might only get like 5 of his scales. That might just be the entire surface area of your body. So it'd just be like, Danny, why are you like kind of red and you have weird lines interspersed on your body? Why is that?
What if they were like I had all of his scales, but they were just like really small, and they were still the same strength?
Okay, yeah, I'd say yeah. Because then it'd just be like you've got a very strangely textured skin, some kind of weird rash type thing.
And it's still very much armoured, and only a black arrow could take out the small chink in the armour.
But then that begs the question. It's like, what's that thing about, like if you shrink down, then your strength to weight ratio increases, so you can, like, jump 30 million stories high or something stupid. So, if you shrink Smaug's scales, do they become less strong? Does it just become like a floppy substance, like skin? I genuinely have no idea.
Well, what's something that's like indestructible, like a metal?
I don't think there really are any.
Well, almost. Like, very, very tough. It takes a lot to destroy it.
There's things like I don't think it's technically a metal, but graphite, or it might be graphene. It's like a single atom thin layer of graphite that's like bulletproof and all this.
What about a diamond? Doesn't it take a lot to crush a diamond?
Yeah, that's true. Yeah.
So like a diamond, no matter how big it is, like, even if it's a small chunk, is like really hard to break.
That's true. That's the funny thing about diamonds, because they're like a crystalline structure. You can't like hammer them and break them, but like if you hit them at the right angle, they'll split like a fracture.
Yeah.
So I don't know.
So maybe skin like that.
So you'd rather have like diamond scales?
No, but I mean I'm giving an example because you were saying if the scales are smaller ratio, does that mean that they're not as effective?
That's a good point.
I would say that they are still effective. It's just there's lots more of them and they're just much smaller.
Sure.
Yeah. Wow. Jesus.
Indeed, we're getting heavy into these. Go on, hit me with another one.
Would you rather? Would you rather go forward 1,000,000 years into the future and be trapped there, or 1,000,000 years in the past and be trapped there?
Future? Well, I don't know, because that right. Because human civilization.
You know what, you're right. Okay, fine. Would you rather go 1,000 years into the future?
Oh, okay.
And be trapped there, or 1,000 years in the past and be trapped there?
Is my lifespan increasing, or am I always going to die at like 80, 90 years old or whatever? But I'll just die in 1100 rather than 2100 or whatever.
Your age rate is the same, and your lifespan is the same. Well, it might be decreased now, depending on where you go.
Because, like, 1,000 years ago, lifespan was like 50 to 60 years old. Like, as long as you got out of childhood, you could live to about 50 or 60 years old.
Yeah, you might like die, but just be in there.
Yeah.
Because your immunity might just be so fucked with all the diseases that are roaming around, and you might just be killed instantly.
Well, I suppose then the question is, like, well, what is my lifestyle in that world? Am I a king in that world, or am I, like, transported onto the Great Plains in the US, or am I in some South American culture? Do you know what I mean?
Let's think of a place. 1,000 years ago.
Yeah, so what was that? 1120.
1120. Let's put you in.
Sorry, 1020.
Let's put you in. Let's put you in Egypt.
Egypt, 1020. Okay, so I feel like that would be mostly okay.
Yeah.
1020. What was happening in Egypt in 1020? What was happening in 1020?
Was Egypt even around then? I can't even remember.
It probably wasn't called Egypt, but I mean,
Yeah.
the land was still there. Emperor Henry II does some stuff in Italy. Yeah, it looks like a pretty chilled out year. No major drama. Because if I was living in England, then that would be okay. Like, I feel like as long as like I could be like a fisherman or something, or I could. Do you know what I mean? Like in 1020. Don't get me wrong, medical science is not exactly advanced, but like...
Well, the Crusades are happening, so I could put you in the Middle East.
Yeah, I don't really want to be in the Crusades. If I can help it, I want to avoid them.
I'm trying to find a good... You're a couple of centuries out of the Black Death.
Oh, nice. I'm glad I've managed to avoid the Black Death.
Yeah. You'll be long dead before it ever reaches, so...
Oh, yeah. Okay, well, and then in the future, what would 3020 be like?
Well, that's just speculating, isn't it?
Because is it like, in Futurama? Is that it? Where he gets in the thing for 99 years, or 999 years or something? And he, like, sees the world, like, crumbles and reforms outside that window. So maybe it'd just be a completely different civilization. I'd be like, the world would be run by frog people or something.
In 1,000 years.
Maybe.
Using your best critical thinking, what do you think genuinely the world will be like in 1,000 years?
I think in 1,000 years...
Will we still be here?
Probably not, no. Because, like, 1,000 years ago, it was literally, essentially just, like, almost everybody was a farmer. You might have one person in the village was a blacksmith or something like that, and then, like, you were either in the army or you farmed, and that was your job. That was all you did all day, every day, you know what I mean?
I mean, well, the Roman Empire was like 300 and something AD. So
yeah.
It's like the Roman Empire has already happened, so it's like there were still like great.
Yeah, but after the Roman Empire fell, there was the what's it called? When the Vikings came over and were like, God, reading books. Who wants to read books? And then they threw all the books in the river and burned them and stuff. So like,
oh shit,
and then hence why there was the Renaissance and the Enlightenment and stuff.
Yeah.
I would say I would rather go to the future.
Just to see it.
Just to see it, yeah. Because I reckon in the future, because obviously ignoring any kind of immune system issues, like if I go back in time, I'm immune to things that haven't even happened yet, if that makes sense. I will carry the common cold from 2020 to 1020 and kill the planet, potentially. But like if I go to the future, they might have some kind of medical science that would be able to inoculate me against all their future diseases or something. I really don't know.
Or the entire planet could just be full of trees, and stuff, and the human race have like killed themselves.
Or maybe it's like a Planet of the Apes situation.
Yeah, maybe we've devolved.
Yeah. What do you reckon's more likely, like I Am Legend or Planet of the Apes? Which future would you rather end up in? A Planet of the Apes type situation where you fall to your knees on a beach, looking at a collapsed Statue of Liberty, or
blow it up.
yeah, or would you rather look at what's the name I said? I Am Legend, and you are Will Smith, and you have a dog, and you spray bleach around your house and all that sort of stuff. Which would you rather fall into?
I'd probably go for Planet of the Apes because there's a small chance that I could probably, use my wit to get with the apes. Whereas the only options you have in I Am Legend are these horrible mutated creatures that will kill you regardless, and then get your dog. You know what I mean? Yeah, completely. I think, I'd rather be in Planet of the Apes. Like the recent trilogy, the recent Planet of the Apes trilogy, were really good. Was it Dawn, Rise, and War? They were really good. They were.
With Andy Serkis playing Caesar, and they were dead good. I like them a lot.
Yeah.
Good.
We should review them.
We should. They're really good.
We should.
Would you like another Would You Rather?
We'll do one more.
Okay. Would you rather know the history of every object you touch, or be able to talk to animals?
Oh.
So, like, go into an antique store or something, pick up, like, I don't know, a typewriter, and be like, oh, Edgar Allan Poe. Well, no, not Edgar Allan Poe, because he was a bit before typewriters. Robert Louis Stevenson used this to write Jekyll and Hyde. I think that was him. Or would you rather be like, open your window and shout, are there any pigeons out there? And you're a pigeon, go, yeah, hey up. What would you rather?
I mean, see, like, is there a thing, like, if animals could talk, right, we wouldn't understand what they were saying, would we?
Yeah, yeah.
Because their frame of reference is like so alien to us that it wouldn't make any sense. So I can understand them completely.
Yeah, yeah.
Right, okay.
But that said, I think you can understand them completely, but you still have to think about how, like, a cod is much more stupid than a man. Like, a cod's thoughts will probably just be fight, flight, eat, mate. That'll probably be it.
Right. So it's not guaranteed that they can talk with me.
No, you can understand them and they can talk to you. Like if you talk to a dolphin, because they're quite intelligent, you could probably have a conversation. But, like, you probably wouldn't be able to converse with an ant. It would say things, but it would be gibberish.
Like in Rick and Morty. The queen needs food. The babies need food. The queen makes babies.
Yeah.
Or when the bird is, like, picking nectar. Can't stop, up, and down, up, stop, up, down.
Yeah, like that in Rick and Morty. And then you discover that the squirrels are launching an international coup. Yeah.
We need to foster a coup. Stage a false election in Uganda.
The best thing about that was that Rick somehow knew that the squirrels were operating this worldwide conspiracy, but deliberately didn't stop them, for whatever reason. That raises more questions than it really should.
It was just like, you fucked with squirrels, Morty, now we gotta move again. It's like, what do you mean? Why didn't you warn him about this? He was probably too drunk. He was just like, yeah, there you go, whatever. Yeah, fucking hell. Can you imagine that was true? Squirrels running the entire world. See, now I'm conflicted because I don't want to be hearing that and then get interrogated by the squirrels and then chewed to bits.
That's a good point.
So, what if I touch an animal? Do I know its history?
Yeah, I think. In fact, no. I think it's only like things that aren't alive.
Right. Okay.
So, like, if it was like a mummified skeleton or something, because it's no longer alive, you could know that thing's history, including the fact that it was like a person or a cat or whatever. But I think if something is alive, then no, you can't just touch it and learn its history.
Tell Nancy to run a 99 on a possible Doolittle. Little boy! I'd probably go with talk with animals.
That does sound potentially better, doesn't it?
Yeah.
Although
I don't want to pick up a random notebook and be like, made in fucking, I don't know.
I suppose the question is, would you rather be the best vet in history or the best archaeologist in history? Which of those would you rather be?
Is that another one?
But then I suppose you wouldn't really be a good vet, because if you went up to a rhino and you were like, "Hey up, mate, what's up?" and he'd be like, "Chest hurt." Do you know what I mean? He's not intelligent enough to have some kind of actual thought, like a diagnostician, medical doctor, human doctor. If they say where does it hurt? What type of pain is it, etc. That's talking with a patient is a good way to diagnose. But you couldn't really talk with a rhino and diagnose. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, and you'd look like an absolute freak if the owner brought this little puppy in, and the owner's like, yeah, she's not pooing proper, and it's like, shut up, let me listen. And the puppy's just like, hey, I need a shit. Do you know what I mean? It's like,
yeah.
So can I only like? Would the dog be like barking and I'm
other people can hear it sort of barking or doing that thing dogs do with the like brr, 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 doing that.
Yeah, right, okay. Right. And I'm standing there as a vet for some reason going yes. Yep. Okay.
I suppose you could probably play it up though, because like people do talk to animals. Like you could say, "Oh, what's wrong with you?" Do you know what I mean?
What you saying? And people do that with babies as well. It's so weird. It's like, are you telling me a wee story? Oh, What you said?
I think that's my favourite tweet of all time, is that one where it's, oh, you're getting big, aren't you? Yeah, you're spot on, I'm on the protein.
Yeah, I'm getting fed carrots every day, you stupid dick.
I've had strained carrots twice today.
That would be amazing if all babies, before they grew up, they thought, oh, see, do you know what I've just realised?
What?
See people who speak different languages. Like some speak English and some but they speak they're bilingual almost.
Yeah.
What do they think as?
I think that's one of those things that like it changes depending on a lot of things. Because have you heard of subvocalization?
No.
It's where you look at something, you're reading a book or a caption for a photo or something. Okay, say you're scrolling through Instagram and you see like a post and it has a caption underneath it. You look at it and you read it without reading it out loud. What in your head is there like a small version of your voice reading that aloud, or is it just you just understand the meaning of those words? Because there are two types of people. One does one thing, one does the other.
Yeah. Well, see, if I'm reading something, it's not a small voice that does it. It just is there and it's in the forefront of my mind. But if I'm thinking about stuff, it'll be my voice thinking about stuff.
Yeah. Because for me, because I do subvocalize. Like if I'm reading a book, it's like I'm reading the book aloud to myself, which is becomes annoying. Because like when I was younger and I was doing my drama training, when I was doing all that, it was like like I did prose exams and prose festivals and stuff where I stood and read from a book and stuff like that, and so.
Yeah.
It takes me ages to read a book because it feels like I'm reading it out to a crowd. It's really weird.
Yes. Uh-huh. Wow. I love all that. I love learning about it. I'd love to learn how language was created, how people went from to, you know, hiya, how you doing?
Yeah.
Obviously it would have been a couple of thousand years before someone went, hiya, how you doing?
A caveman's just like, ugh, bug. Hiya, how you doing, pal? Have we had enough bullshit? Because we've had a lot of it so far.
That's a lot of bullshit.
If you've made it this far, I applaud you.
Yeah, well done. Right, the film. Do you know what? Keep this in, right? I'm just going to refill my glass. I'll be 2 seconds.
Okay, treat yourself, cocker. Okay.
Intermission?
Yeah, yeah, I've got to come up with some kind of intermission music now. While Danny's gone, he's opened a can of something. Maybe it's like Stella or something. That's what we don't know about Danny. He's like a day drinker. He's like drinking cans of Stella while we record the podcast.
Yep. That's what's happening.
What's it a can of? Tell me what's in the can. I'm invested.
I can't tell you what's in the can, Lewis.
I mean, you're like 19, aren't you? I feel like it's not. There's no drama if I know that if people know that you're drinking.
It would break your little Stoke heart if I told you what was in the can.
It's liquidized oatcakes is what you're drinking.
No, it's liquidized fat.
Oh Jesus, that's gross. Oh yeah, I'm just drinking a glass of olive oil.
Oh God, no! Do you know what it is? See, after you've cooked on a grill,
Yeah.
or a George Foreman grill, see the pussy, disgusting grease.
Ugh, yeah.
It's like that in a fizzy can of that.
That is grotesque. I think I want to kill myself now after you said that. Jesus Christ.
Oh, that's opened a whole new set of Would You Rathers, but another time.
We'll have to do a podcast where it's just entirely Would You Rathers, start to finish.
That's not a bad idea.
Alright, we'll do that for 35.
What film are we talking about this week, Lewis?
This week we are talking about the 2017 horror comedy film The Babysitter, starring Samara Weaving, Bella Thorne, Judah Lewis, Robbie Amell, Emily Alyn Lind, and View 10 plus more.
Yep, Bella Thorne and King Bach are in it as well.
Who?
I hate them both.
King Bach? What?
King Bach. He's a sort of internet star person.
Oh, I see.
It's like an Instagram model.
Oh, okay, yeah, John. Yeah.
Yeah, whatever his fuck knows. It was directed by McG, who did music videos for a wee while, didn't he?
I've no idea. I would imagine so. I think a lot of directors start off doing music videos.
I thought he did. I thought he did Michael Jackson's music videos.
I'm not sure.
I have no idea. And it was written by Brian Duffield.
Mm-hmm.
So yeah. Well, there you go. Do you have an opening statement, sir?
I do. A funny, nicely convoluted spoof of old school horror. Refreshing in a world where horror is becoming increasingly crap.
Wow. A cheesy, funky, funny, and charming coming-of-age story. It's like an MTV, Vine-filled, ridiculously hot people talking about geeky things 80s comedy.
It is.
But it's fine, because all the hot people die, so it's cool.
I think I am a bit of a sucker for a horror comedy. There's this, which I really like, and what's it called? It's it's like set in an American forest. It's like a Cabin in the Woods thing, but it's like a spoof on that. And it's like these.
Is it Cabin in the Woods?
No. Is it Tucker and Dale? Is that what it's called? Tucker and Dale versus Evil. That's what it's called. It's another one of my favourite horror comedies.
Is that with Keanu Reeves?
I don't think so. No, I don't think Keanu Reeves is in it. But
what am I thinking of? There's one where him and another guy beat death or something.
Bill and Ted.
Bill and Ted, that's it.
Yeah. But I like a lot of horror comedy. There's Tucker and Dale versus Evil, which is great. There's The Babysitter, which is great. And it's like I think my favourite horror comedies are often based on this sort of spoofing this idea of like the old school, like sort of camp horror movies. Like and when I say camp, I mean like summer camp. Things like Halloween, where it's like Michael Myers kills all these people at a summer camp or whatever. I like the jokes about that and how ridiculous those films were. You look back on them and you have this sort of veneer of, oh yeah, I suppose it was quite good, but really it's not very good. As much as you want it to be, it's not very good. But this is making a joke about that. It's very self-aware, and I admire that kind of humour.
I mean, Cabin in the Woods is a really good film.
I haven't actually seen it.
Have you not? It's like a spoof. It's also a spoof. It's like all this horrible shit happens because there's like an underground facility that have all these monsters, and they do it for the gods or something like that.
Oh, okay.
It's really weird, but it's really funny. It's like a big spoofer. It's like every horror cliche ever.
Yeah.
And it's like it has to work out the way the gods want it, and it's like it has to be very cliched and horrific, otherwise they get killed. It's very good.
That's written by Joss Whedon. Very cool.
Yeah. So it's not a bad film to watch.
No, I will check it out. Go crazy.
Definitely.
Anyway, we've got some CRQs about The Babysitter.
I do, yeah. Slash statements, slash observations.
Yeah.
Luckily, the teenagers are so unlikable that I have a catharsis every time they die. That's a wee observation.
They are very eminently unlikable, which is kind of weird when you start to think about it.
So we get a wee sort of spinny, title card things that I realised really have no relevance to the characters at all. It's literally just cool fonts and red writing. So we've got I can't even remember her name.
I've got a cast list in front of me. Who are you thinking of?
I'm thinking of okay. So we've got B. I remember B. She's the main one.
Yep. The babysitter in The Babysitter.
Samara Weaving. Then we've got the guy with his shirt off.
Robbie Amell. Yeah, that's the actor. I don't know what the character's name is.
Yep, and then we've got King Bach.
Who plays somebody called John.
Yep, and then we've got Bella Thorne, the cheerleader.
Mm-hmm. Who doesn't have a name on this list, so I have no idea what her character name is.
Then we've got, I remember Sonia.
Yeah, Hannah May Lee. She was in Pitch Perfect as well.
Yep. Is that it? Who else?
That's it, apart from the kid, Cole.
Yeah, and then there's that other nerd who gets absolutely demolished.
Oh yeah. Whoever he might be, that unlucky so and so.
Yeah. So who's that brings me on to my next question. What character do you hate the most in this film?
To be honest, it's sort of the cheerleader character, because it represents that sort of weird American, like, fascination with, like, rich teenagers in films. I don't like that, and I think that makes me hate that character.
Yeah, I hate her. I hate her with passion.
Which character do you hate the most, Dan?
Let me think.
I'm gonna say Robbie Amell. He's annoying in this film as well.
Oh yeah, with his shirt off and all that. That question never gets answered.
Yeah, why have you got your shirt off? It's, what?
Yeah, it's like, is it just a vanity thing? Oh, I hate him.
Why don't I just take my shirt off? It'll just add to the ambience in this creepy house. Yeah.
Yeah. Samara Weaving's quite good.
She is good in this film, yeah.
She's quite charming as Bee.
She plays, I think, the scariest thing about Bee, at least before you learn she's sort of in league with Satan, the scariest thing about Bee is, like, her amoral sort of status. When she's, like, the cool babysitter character, she's like, oh yeah, she's cool, and then she starts killing people, and you're like, oh my god, the whole cool babysitter front, that was like, what's the word? That becomes scarier, because you realise it was all a front. None of it was real. Yeah, exactly. And then you see the sort of the changing of the guard between, I have to kill these people, I have to do X and Y and Z and whatever, and you think, oh my god, she becomes much more terrifying. And then she's like, oh no, just gonna worship the devil for a bit. It's like, oh well, that kind of cheapens it in a way.
Yeah, that's another thing, right? Like, see, despite being like a postmodern film, it's like, why is there biblical morality in it? It's like, B even says, it's like, yeah, this only works if the blood we get is like top pure shit. It's like, so it's biblical morality we're going by, surely, because she references the devil. What devil is it?
That's a good point. Yeah, or is it
the Jewish devil?
Is it a devil like from the dawn of time? Is it like some kind of pre God, pre the Bible, pre everything?
Another quote: "The Jews have their scrolls." Is that really? Is that what we're going with? Isn't it like the Torah, and isn't that there?
I genuinely have no idea.
And then the devil has his verses. What is he, a singer? Is it like Tenacious D?
No, it's like poetry. The devil just writes poetry. Oh god, poetry is not one of my great loves, but good lord.
I mean, they could have thought of something. The devil is the automatic go-to. The devil, it wasn't. They should have just made it right about teenagers who are just psychos and want to kill someone, because the Devil Scrolls play like no part in the actual film.
I do think the Devil Scrolls sort of cheapen it in a bit. I think that it would have been better, you're right, if it was just a group of teenagers that decided they wanted to kill people. Or, conversely, if B had just found this book at some point and just discovered, oh well, I will live forever if innocent blood is spilled on the pages or whatever. Like if she is reading it and gets a paper cut and bleeds on the page, it's like, oh, if I bleed on the pages, then it means that I get such and such a thing. And then it's just like, and then she ropes other people in and says, right, well, if we all get together and sacrifice somebody, then we'll all get eternal youth, or we'll all get $1 million, or whatever. Introducing this concept of just a straight up devil, it does sort of cheapen it in a funny way.
It really does. What do you think Bee's backstory is? Because she's like, I used to be so small, and now I'm strong and confident.
Well, I don't know, because at one point I remember thinking it'd be spookier if she's like 1 million years old or something. She's been doing this for 1 million years. It's like this started. She got teleported back to what was I saying, 1020, and she found this book and was like, oh right, well, I better go and kill somebody and spill their blood, and then I will be able to live another 50 years without aging, or whatever. And then in 50 years' time, she had to do it again, and do it again, and do it again. And it's like, I like that idea, that'd be cool, but it was never addressed, it was never deliberately said, yes, this is the case.
No. But, which is good, because it's a bit ambiguous, which is nice. You know they're making a sequel to this?
They are, yeah. I've seen a couple of headlines that say, sequel coming back with original cast. And it's like, well, they all died.
Yeah, most of them are dead. Are they ghosts?
Well, it takes place in hell or something.
Bee's still alive, though. Did you see the mid-credit sequence?
Yeah. She like sticks her hand up through the rubble or whatever it is.
No. She kills 2 firemen.
Oh God, I've seen that written somewhere. But okay, is she like horrifically injured? Does she look horrendously injured, or is she just fine?
Well, maybe she wished to be immortal or to be invulnerable to shit.
Maybe.
So I don't know, but yeah, she's still alive. Like every horror cliche ever. She's the new Michael Myers. Which is a good twist on it, I guess. Wow, what is Hollywood's obsession, right? With putting really attractive people talking about nerdy things that like they really have no frame of reference for.
I'm not sure. What do you mean by that?
Well, shows like The Big Bang Theory. It's like these people. It's not the fact that the thing they say about the nerdy thing is funny. But the context of the nerdy thing isn't funny. It's the fact that they know that, and they know the nerdy thing. That's what's funny or meant to be funny.
Yeah. That's
So
the difference between the humour of like Big Bang and Futurama. It's like in Futurama there are science jokes. In Big Bang there are jokes about science. If that makes sense. The fact that there is science is the funny thing. Yeah.
Sheldon referenced the Doppler effect. Oh God.
Yeah.
What a freak. That's pretty horrible. And the amount of pop culture references in this film as well.
Yeah.
I don't know what the intention is. What's the intention
of this film?
No, the whole pop culture reference stuff.
I'm not sure, but I did kind of read the film as a spoof of itself. Like, it was very self-aware. And I think that redeemed a lot of this weirdness for me.
Is the point of it so that we're in the same position as Cole? That we get entranced by this cool babysitter who actually knows geeky shit. And then when she betrays us, we're like, what the fuck? And then it comes up on the screen, what the fuck?
Yeah.
I think that's very clever. Very clever of them, I think. Yeah. Oh no, she knows what the Godfather Part 2 is. Amazing. Wow, she's really cool. And she's stabbed at some... Oh my god, what the fuck? It's like that.
I have a bit of a question about the film.
Go on.
How did the group of teenagers get involved in Bee's cult? Did she go up to them? Did she put like a flyer up and say, looking for people to join my cult? Anybody want to come and kill somebody with me? How did they get involved? Do you know what I mean?
I get the feeling that Bee goes to the same school as them.
Yeah.
Or Bee went to the same school as them and knows them. But I don't think they are colossal fucks. So I think it doesn't take too much convincing. They're probably looking for it themselves, and Bee found them, or something like that. But it doesn't even matter because they're such arseholes that they would just do that. I think that's the point. I hate those cats. I hate them with an absolute. There is nothing worse than a devil cult filled with Instagram stars and models. That is the most evil parasitic cult in the history of cults.
I think for me the entire point of this cult was that they're all sort of terrible people in every respect, in a way. Like you on the surface, before the Satan ritual starts, you sort of think, oh well, they're just sort of vain, self-obsessed teenagers. That's all you think of them, and then you realise, oh no, they're actually very murderous and a bit intense. Maybe they're really, really bad.
Yeah. And the shirtless guy, he was like, no, I came here to kill people. I was like, oh, wow. Jesus. See, even they deserve... I saw that and I was like, yeah, you guys deserve death, even before I found out you were a devil-worshipping cult. I don't want to fulfill a great purpose, Lewis.
You don't want to fulfill a great purpose?
Porpoise.
A porpoise.
When that guy gets stabbed in the head.
That is just...
Fulfilling a great purpose, what, you cunts getting what you want, essentially. What a great purpose that is. Yeah.
I think that's sort of the point, in a weird way, is that they're not fulfilling a great purpose. It's sort of a brutal murder for very self-serving reasons. I think maybe I'm cutting this film a bit too much slack. But, like, I think for me this is more of a comedy than it is a horror. Like, this isn't a scary film. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I wasn't scared. The only jump scare that might be worth any salt is when he comes back into the room and Bee's standing there. And the camera sort of shifts so that she's just outside the frame. That's not bad. That was alright, but any other than that, you know.
Yeah. I have a question.
Go on.
Is there no recourse at all from the parents of those children that... I'm pretty sure B just, like, hits some children at some point. Is there no recourse at that point?
I think it's the same way as, like, a criminal doesn't tell another criminals.
Yeah, okay. They wouldn't tell their parents because... Oh yeah, while I was bullying a kid. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it might open the can of worms. It's like, well, why were you near him? Who's this boy that you're suddenly friends with? Or no? And then they go to his house and he's like, yeah, they were bullying me. I was like, oh.
Oh, were you? Yeah.
I guess it's something like that. But what I'm more interested in is that how is Cole not, like, going to jail?
Cole?
It's like,
yeah, I suppose it's all self-defense.
What is it?
Sort of.
Does it look like that? He drove a car into his fucking house.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's a good point.
Stole a car and drove it right into his house. It's not as if, like, he found a gun and just killed them out of self-defense. It's like he ran away and then came back and then intentionally drove a car through his babysitter. He's gonna look like he's gonna go to jail for a very long time.
So, are we supposed to believe that the parents are just like, yeah, okay, you drove into the house, that's fine. Don't worry about it, Cole. That's okay.
Yeah, I don't need a babysitter anymore. What? Are you fucking kidding me?
You've destroyed the house, Cole. If anything, you need an armed guard.
You've killed people. You need a... You've killed people. You've destroyed the house and you've stolen your neighbour's car. Yeah. You're an adult now. You're absolutely fine. You don't need any help whatsoever.
But I suppose even that thing is it's a spoof in and of itself, in a way, of like that coming of age. Like most coming of age stories are actually kind of not great. When you sort of take a step back and you think, oh my god, okay, that is a. I can't think of any examples now, which is just serves to frustrate me. But like. This is not a coming-of-age story, in a way. Like, no. I can see Cole having extended therapy from this over the course of many years. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. I mean, it's not, like... I don't think we've really thought about the psychological ramifications of this. Let's see if anyone at Halloween is dressed as Satan. Will Cole, like, act out and, like take... I don't know, his shoe off him and beat them to death.
Yeah.
And then after he kills them, he says, I don't need a babysitter anymore. And that's just like it's a tick. It's a nervous tick that comes.
Yeah, or like if he goes to
kill someone.
When he goes to like high school or college or whatever, and it's like he sees the cheer squad and he's like immediately starts trying to kill all of them, or like he just happens to. Like he
has a shotgun and starts shooting them all.
Yeah, exactly. And he sees somebody that just so happens to look like Samara Weaving, and he's just like, nope, okay, time to die. Time for me to drive a car at you.
Every attractive blonde person, he just, oh my god, he's driving. He's in his 40s, right, and he's driving along a residential street, and he sees like a group of blonde females walking, and he just like turns and just goes. He plays Queen. And then just goes and just
mows them down. God,
I don't need a baby. And then it's all over the news. It's like a man has committed a horrendous act. It's like I don't need a babysitter anymore. That's him in a padded cell forever, just saying that one line over and over and over.
He's like writing it on the walls and yeah.
Yeah, with his shit, and that's the Babysitter too.
Oh god.
That's what I'd do if I was directing it.
Have it all just be in the course of flashbacks.
Exactly. Wow, that's amazing.
What is the cup of fizzy fat you've got?
Both the film that I've just imagined and the cup of fizzy fat that I have.
Oh god damn.
I have a question for you, Lewis.
Yeah, go for it.
What is your intergalactic dream team, and who is the big bad, and what's your plan?
I have no idea. What are the parameters again for Intergalactic Dream Team? How many can I have?
You can have 5 people, 6 if you need a duo.
Okay. Do you pick the ship as well? I really do not pay attention to this part, it seems.
Well, the ship really bears very little on the actual event. It's mainly just getting you there.
Okay, 5 people and a ship. Okay, we're gonna say it's, I don't know, the Starship Enterprise. I feel like that's a good starting point.
Okay.
Because that's got all of the Deus Ex Machina stuff you could possibly need. In fact, no, the TARDIS, because that's like all else fails. Go back in time and have another go.
Yeah.
Let's go for. I don't know. I suppose you've got to have the Doctor, if you've got the TARDIS. I don't know. I'd say Captain Picard. Maybe he seems like he's good. Like, I mean, we know he's good in a crisis. I feel like he'd be good in any crisis. That would just be fine.
So Captain Picard is number 1.
Yeah, in this situation. In fact, no. I think the Doctor is maybe like head scientific officer. Captain Picard is captain.
Okay, so number 1 is the person who's leading it.
Oh, okay, yeah, okay. Captain Picard is number 1. Yeah.
Right. Okay. Yep.
Then the Doctor is number 2.
Okay.
I got to think of 3 others.
Give the boy a maths medal.
I'm gonna piss off. I'm gonna say Sarah Connor from Terminator 2.
Good choice.
I'm gonna say I want to say Riker, even though that would mean I have 2 TNG characters.
You can choose anyone you want.
Okay, yeah, Riker then, and Tony Stark, Marvel Cinematic Universe. Tony Stark.
That's a good one.
I think in that mix-up, you've got a good blend of lots of different things.
Yep. And right, okay, and who's your big bad?
The big bad. Is this to make it like an ideal film, or is this just in a general?
It's just a general sort of Dungeons and Dragons-esque mission type thing.
Okay, the big bad. I want to say Doctor Doom. I feel like there hasn't been a good incarnation of Doctor Doom ever in the history of film and TV. There has not been a good version of that. So I want to do that just on the off chance we cast somebody good and it gives a good performance as that.
Okay, so we have Captain Picard. We have who was next?
What was it? Captain Picard, the Doctor, Riker.
The Doctor, Riker, Sarah Connor,
and
shit.
I've forgotten as well. Tony Stark. That was it.
Tony Stark. I'm gonna write that down.
Okay.
And I need a wee pen. Just give me a second. Okay. This could be a segment that we do.
We could do a side podcast where it's just this.
Yep. Lewis's Intergalactic Dream Team. Okay, so number 1, Captain Jean-Luc Picard. What a name. And then number 2, the Doctor, or in brackets, the Timeless Child. Number 3, William Riker.
Yeah, Riker.
William Riker. Okay. And number 4, Sarah Connor from Terminator 2.
Yeah, I think any other Sarah Connor might not be as good. I think Sarah Connor, Terminator 2 is the one you want to defeat anything. I feel like she is resilient enough to deal with whatever comes up.
Yep. And Tony Stark MCU. Tony Stark. You. Big bad. Doctor Doom.
Yeah, perfect.
Okay, right, what's your plan?
My plan to defeat Doctor Doom. Well, what's the situation that Doctor Doom's got himself in? He's in occupied Latveria or something, and I've got to free the people of Latveria.
Yeah, do that.
Okay.
Yep.
Go to his house, Castle, was it Castle Doom? I'm fairly sure that's where he lives.
Go to his house, knock on the door, and be like, "Can you stop, please?"
In that situation, I think what I'd do is I would take the TARDIS, right, and I would get Tony Stark to generate some kind of device which would enable people to like you could put them like you know how in was it Day of the Doctor or whatever, that John Hurt episode where like they
paintings,
with the paintings where they put like the TARDISes all around Gallifrey and then teleported Gallifrey to another dimension or whatever. I would do that. I would
with Latvia.
No, with Castle Doom. I would put Castle Doom into another dimension with the TARDIS, and then he's gone forever. You never have to deal with that again.
That's pretty cool.
Damn straight.
Wow. Problem
solved straight away, man. Sorted.
Done. And we saved the day. And you didn't even use William Riker, Sarah Connor, or Tony Stark.
No. Tony Stark was there inventing the dimensional teleporter box thing.
Right. Okay.
Let's say Sarah Connor was like running defense while William Riker was setting them up. There was them two sent down on an away team, and they were placing them around the perimeter of Castle Doom. Yeah, let's say that. There we go. Perfect.
That's pretty cool. We did it.
Perfect. Would you like to have a go?
I'd love to.
Go on, have a go. I'm gonna use a pencil for this. In fact, no, I'll use my mechanical pencil.
Okay.
Danny's Intergalactic. Oh fuck! Intergalactic Dream Team. There we go.
So do I get to choose the ship as well?
You do get to choose the ship.
Okay, I'm gonna go with a Borg cube.
Okay, that's a good. That could be anything already. So even if you don't pick a crew, you've already won.
Yep. And to lead this little ensemble, I'll go with Rick Sanchez.
Oh Jesus! Right.
Number 2.
You're gonna have a Morty if you've got a Rick.
Do I?
Fine, you don't have to, but I feel like you probably should.
Morty for the whining.
Do you want him to be number 2 or number 5?
He'll be number 2, right?
Okay.
Who else do I know? I'll go with number 3. Go with 7 of 9.
7 of 9. Good choice.
From Voyager. Who else? Number 4. Go with Deadpool.
Deadpool? Okay. Comic Deadpool or film Deadpool?
I'll go with film Deadpool.
Okay.
Because I like Ryan Reynolds. And that's number 4, is it?
That's number 4. One more.
And number 5, of course, Daniel Plainview. No.
I thought you were going to say Daniel Plainview there.
That's what I was going to say. No. Dr. Manhattan, obviously.
Right. So, essentially you've got God.
Yeah.
So on Danny's team, the ship is a Borg cube. The ship is a Borg cube. You have Rick Sanchez, essentially God, Morty Smith, a whiny child, 7 of 9, essentially like a body that's there, just a person compared to these other godlike figures. Deadpool, who kind of is a god as well, can do anything, go anywhere, live forever, and Dr. Manhattan, almost literally God.
Yeah.
So you've got essentially 3 gods and a child and just a person to make up the numbers. That's what you've got there. Yeah. Okay, so who's your big bad?
My big bad is
because couldn't you just make this really easy and be like, oh yeah, my big bad is, I don't know,
could, yeah.
It's just some bloke off the street.
Okay, my big bad is Thanos with the Infinity Gauntlet.
Okay. How are you gonna do it?
Okay, what I'll do is I'll use 7 of 9 as a distraction. I'll just throw her at him. No.
And he'll snap his fingers and she just disappears.
Yeah. 7 of 9 will be in charge of the ship.
I suppose that makes sense, yeah.
And the distraction will be that she will launch every single phaser and rocket and whatever at Thanos' head, and Thanos will be a bit preoccupied with that. Then Rick Sanchez will portal beside him and portal the Infinity Gauntlet off of his hand.
Okay, so Thanos has got a stump now.
Yeah, a bit like how Doctor Strange did it with. No, not Doctor Strange. Was it Wu that did it?
Yeah,
Wong. Yeah, he did it to the one of Thanos'
Obsidian Cull. Yeah,
whatever. And I don't know why Doctor Strange didn't do that with Thanos, but never mind. And so I do that with Rick's portal. Then the Infinity Gauntlet's up for grabs. And who else? Who else have I got?
You've got Morty Smith, Deadpool, and Dr. Manhattan.
Okay, Morty's in the background singing "Let's Get Swifty." Deadpool looks to the camera and starts smoking weed.
Right.
And then Dr. Manhattan gets the Infinity Gauntlet and and destroys the universe. And he's
is that a win?
Own. Well, yeah, I mean, we defeated the big bad, didn't we?
Yeah, but you also destroyed the entire universe. Defeat the big bad, but at what cost?
But, plot twist, Dr. Manhattan is the new big bad, and then we'll see each other in the 15 sequels that come out of it.
Dr. Manhattan is the new big bad, and then Rick Sanchez defeats him a million times over. Yeah.
With the Infinity Gauntlet. Dr. Manhattan, who can already do anything,
could do anything twice.
Infinity Gauntlet. Yeah, so that we can work out a way to defeat him next time.
Okay, sounds good.
Yeah. Do you want to make that like a regular thing?
Yeah, well, that be a regular segment. Yeah, if you have any particular characters you'd like to be of the crew, or any ships, or any big bads, send them in. We have the email address. What is it? shoutingintothevoidcontact@gmail.com. We have our Instagrams, Twitters, Facebook. Send them in.
Definitely. And obviously, we'll figure out some rules.
Yeah.
So that we can't just choose literal gods each time we do it.
I have Dr. Manhattan and 4 Dr. Manhattan clones.
I have the Old Testament God. Oh, God. Oh, well, that was fun.
It was. I mean, not only have we just spent 10-20 minutes just fucking about, I have actually run out of notes for the film.
I mean, that
what's this podcast about film, again? Is it like a film or something? What's this? Do we talk about films? Or what?
The impression I get is that they probably spent a lot of time fucking about in this film as well. Why is there so much fog?
I have no idea.
There is so much, and it's only in his garden.
Maybe it's just another trope. There's just a lot of fog in 80s horror flicks.
Oh, you are too kind.
I am a bit, yeah. I think I'm being too kind to it, yeah.
Yeah. I mean, I don't suppose it's meant to make sense, to be honest.
No, probably not.
No. It's like, and the last thing, it's an R-rated version of Home Alone.
It sort of is, yeah.
Said every person ever. It's not a new observation. I just thought I'd put it in there.
Okay.
And another thing. Yeah, the gore is really good.
The gore is pretty good, isn't it? Yeah.
The gore is pretty good for a film like this. It's like, what have we got? We've got the guy with the 2 swords in his head, and the cop with a fire pokey right through the eye.
Aye, yeah.
And he goes and rips his head off essentially. What else? And King Bach gets his jugular destroyed by an award. What else? Sonya gets blown up. Bella Thorne's head gets blown off.
Lovely.
The shirtless guy basically gets slippy with egg yolk and hangs himself by accident. Oops. And B, gets a car driven through her.
Good stuff.
Yeah, so it's not bad. It's not bad. It's going to be on. I bet it'll be on Dead Meat. Have you ever watched?
I've never seen Dead Meat. No.
Oh, it's so good. It's an internet show where they tally up kills and shit like that, and gory horror stuff. It's really good. If you like horror, it's like every horror film on there.
Yeah, I'll give it a look.
Yeah, give it a look. Well,
have you got a closing statement, Cocker?
I do. Yeah. Who cares if it makes zero fucking sense? It's funny. Woohoo!
Okay. This horror film isn't scary, and therein lies its excellence. Comedy horror is an unappreciated genre, and this is a hidden gem of that genre.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah, I think that's the entire film and lots of extra shit.
Yeah, definitely.
Have we got some shilling to do?
We do have some shilling to do. Let's do it. I am on Instagram at O'Hiram. I am on Twitter. No, I'm not. I'm on Facebook at Kerzo2000. And I am on Twitter at Kerzo... What?
You're right there, Dan.
Right. Let me start again. I'm on Instagram at O'Hiram. I'm on Facebook at Daniel K. Actor. I'm on Twitter at Kerzo2000. What are you on, Lewis?
I am on Instagram at Lewis_Brindley, Twitter at LewisBrindley4, and I'm on Facebook at Lewis Brindley. That's my Facebook page.
Bitchin'.
Oh, yeah. The podcast is hosted by Podomatic. We are on Spotify. We are on Deezer. We are on Apple Podcasts. We are on YouTube. We are everywhere in the whole world. Go and check us out. We're everywhere. We have lots of good stuff out there on the internet. We also have a Patreon, where we do lots of other bits of bonus stuff, and also it would mean the world if you could help support us, so go and check that out. We also have a PayPal donate button on our website. I think it's... Oh, I don't even know, and I don't want to risk just saying someone else's PayPal on air, so we have a button on our website. Go and check that out if you want to. What else is there, Dan?
Did we say Patreon?
I don't know. Yes, we did say Patreon, okay.
And we'd like to thank our two lovely patrons, always Chloe and Darius, they keep us afloat.
Indeed they do.
Gems.
They are extremely good eggs.
Yeah, thank you guys. And we also would like you to check out a lovely little company called Number 12 Crochet Avenue. Lewis, you're far more articulate than I am.
Number 12 Crochet Avenue is a business run by my incredible wife, Chloe. She crochets and she is incredibly good at it. I know that I say this every time. She crochets and she's incredibly good at it. That's because she is incredibly good at it. I watch her do it and it literally blows my mind how it goes from a ball of yarn to an actual thing. I've seen her make little, toy dinosaurs, there's a picture of it on my Instagram, there's definitely a picture of it on Number 12 Crochet Avenue, the Instagram, but it just blows my mind that it goes from nothing to a thing. But anyway, go and check out the Instagram. It's very, very aesthetically pleasing. It's definitely worth a follow, definitely worth a look. She also takes commissions, and she is amazing. I would very highly recommend checking her out. She's super duper awesome.
As would I.
Very good, Danny.
Just second you there. Well, that's us.
Indeed, it is.
But Lewis, we haven't decided what we're going to do next week.
We haven't, which is incredibly dramatic.
I know. Oh,
we've made a bit of a habit out of not deciding, which is exciting and terrifying.
Any thoughts? Any suggestions, Lewis?
I'm not sure.
Number 32.
I've enjoyed doing this one because it's so sort of it's vapid and it's nonsense. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah. I'll get my film book out, right, and we'll see what.
Okie dokie. Let's do something a bit spooky. If you've got something spooky, let's do something a bit spooky.
A bit spooky.
Aye, I want some spook.
What about? Let's see. What about The Thing?
Ooh, yeah, let's do The Thing.
Some cosmic horror.
Yeah, nice. That does sound good, doesn't it? The John Carpenter version.
Oh yeah, definitely.
Yeah, the old school one.
Not the 2011 remake, which isn't actually a remake; it's a prequel.
Oh, very interesting. Go on.
And it's how the base looks when they arrive. So it tells the story of how everything got to the way it was before.
Like Prometheus with Alien.
Yeah.
Yeah. And one film I do want to do in the horror vein is Carrie, the old school one, because I haven't ever actually seen it. I've read the book and I haven't ever seen it. The not the one with Chloe Grace Moretz in, the old one. I want to see that.
Well, let me put forward a crazy notion.
Mm-hmm.
Why don't we just do Carrie for number 33?
Ooh, Eve, that is exciting times, Daniel.
It certainly is. We're planning out a wee bit.
Oh, hey.
Got some
Planning it out live on air as well.
I know. Well, it's not live. But yeah, it's...
Number 33.
Excellent. That's booked in. That's stamped in.
Booked in. It's set in stone now. I've got my chisel out and I've hammered it away into some granite. No changing it now. Not at all. No. Even if one of us dies, the podcast still has to be made.
Yeah. The only thing that will change it is the big green $ sign. That's the only thing. Would you like £1 to review Call the Midwife instead?
Yes!
Yeah.
Yes, I would!
Yeah, every episode. God. Well, I think that's us.
That is us, yes. Thank you very much for listening to this podcast. I think we ended up talking a little bit about the film and talking a lot about a lot of random shit. So if you've made it through to the end, congratulations.
Well done. You are the faithful. The box set brigade.
Indeed.
Thank you so much for listening, and we shall see you next time.
Yes, thank you for listening. We'll see you next week. Bye.